Hello, everybody. It is Mrs. Pound. We're studying Chapter 23 on the nervous system from BJU Biology's 4th edition. We're taking a look at Section 23B on the sensory organs. Our objectives for the video today is to identify the structures of the ear and describe their functions, distinguish between conductive and nerve deafness, and distinguish between static and dynamic equilibrium. So we're going to talk today about subsection 23.4, the ear, hearing and balance. So the ear. The first thing is the tympanic membrane. That is the eardrum, and you can see it on the frog here. In humans, we can't see our eardrum, but here is the eardrum, and it captures vibrations and passes them on. And so tympanic, if you have a hard time remembering this, there's a drum called a timpani, and so that's why it's called that, and it means drum. Inside of the ear, just behind the tympanic membrane, here would be the tympanic membrane, are the malleus, the incus, and the stapes, and these are bones that transfer vibration. So the malleus, the incus, and the stapes, they are bones, just as you can feel vibrations if you were to tap on your desk. Bones can also pass vibrations, and they do that in the ear. Now, these bones are the smallest bones in your body, and they are actually completely formed before you are born, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to hear when you were first born, and you can hear when you're first born. Also in the ear is the eustachian tube. This connects the middle ear to the pharynx. So right here, the eustachian tube. This is also why you can get middle ear infections, because bacteria can come up through this tube and give you an infection in your middle ear. Now, you can feel a popping sensation in your ears when you drive up a mountain because atmospheric pressure decreases as your elevation increases. There's less air above you pressing down on you like a heavy blanket. However, the middle ear pressure remains the same, causing the eardrum to bulge outward. So it can be, you can feel a little discomfort because it's bulging. When you blow or yawn, the eustachian tube opens. Also, chewing gum, something like that helps, moving the jaw. This allows the pressure to equalize, and the popping is the eardrum snapping to a flat position. You also can uh, feel something similar when you're going deep underwater, except the opposite is happening. The pressure outside is greater than the pressure inside your ear. So the eardrum is getting pushed into the ear. And so then by kind of holding your nose and blowing into your ear, that equalizes the pressure and you can feel a similar sensation. Now, there are two types of deafness. The first is conductive deafness. This is caused by anything that blocks the transmission of vibrations in the inner ear. And this is what hearing aids are commonly used for. There's also nerve deafness. This is malfunction of the cochlea, the auditory nerve, or the brain. When you have this type of deafness, regular hearing aid will not work. You have to get what's called a cochlear implant. And you may have seen these on people and wondered what they are, where they have a hearing aid and then they have this thing here. This is actually magnetic, and they had surgery to have this implanted into their skull. And it is a special type of hearing aid for nerve deafness. Finally, the ear is also involved in the sense of balance, and we're going to talk more in depth about this in class, but this is what you need to know for the test. So there is static equilibrium. Static always means basically staying still. This refers to the sense of body position when a person is not moving. So you have static equilibrium. In order to sit still. If you close your eyes after a while, you might feel like you're waving. Part of that is because sight helps us with that. Now, dynamic equilibrium Dynamic always means moving. This is the ability of the body to respond automatically to positional changes when moving. And dynamic equilibrium is controlled by the semicircular canals in the ear. In the diagram of the ear, you may have noted those kind of circular things. Those are the semicircular canals, and they have fluid in them that helps us maintain balance while we are moving. If there's anything wrong with that, it can affect your balance. So our objectives today were to identify the structure of the ear and describe their functions, distinguish between conductive and nerve deafness, and distinguish between static and dynamic equilibrium. Don't forget your 5 questions in your margin and keep watching the video to answer the questions at the end.